Hey everybody. So I just tuned into a little bit of Joy's stream, and this is what I got to share. I could go back in the past and point out incidences that I've already brought up, things that have came out of her mouth, but that sounds lame. Like, what the fuck? Trying to go back and prove to somebody based on words they said in the past that they're not admitting to saying that you had an interest. And the whole time, I feel like I've been pretty good, but let me make it even more clear, is I don't know what her interest is. I've had assumptions, and she's said things that have, she's talked about things in a sexual manner regarding my person. So that was a while ago. So a lot of shit's changed since then. But it's like right now she's asking me to answer all types of questions. And it's like, whether or not your interest is, I don't know what the fuck your interest is, but there is an interest. That's just what it is. You can't ask questions about a subject and not have an interest. Now, it could be that she just thinks I'm some crazy rapist, as she calls me, which is fine. That's what she thinks of me. That's her fucking choice. So that could just be it. She could just be interested in me as a fucking specimen, as something she doesn't quite understand. And so that could be the sole reason for her interest, man. I don't know. Again, there's things in the past she said that have suggested otherwise, but I'm not trying to play that game of going back and fucking going in the past and being like, you said this, and then she's going to deny it, and it's like, where does it go? The past is the past. Sure, we can reflect on it, but it's really hard to reflect on that shit if y'all can't even see eye to eye what actually happened and what was actually said. So, since in my experience, she doesn't ante up to the things that she said and done in the past, it's like, what good comes out of me bringing this shit up? But as far as like me talking about her going from dick to dick, I don't know exactly what she's doing in her life. When I left to go to Arizona, we had, in my experience, a very good stream, and then like the next day of me getting there, she wanted to fucking, she wanted to do a stream, and I shouldn't say what she wants, but it felt like she did because she got back to my response, very quickly. And then, in Arizona, shit was rough. Like, I don't know what happened. I felt literally like I was pulled away from all the momentum I had in Oregon. I started drinking. Just shit wasn't going well with my friends. The environment was different. Like, my body, you have to remember too, like, prior to Arizona, I was laid up for 3 months. Like, my body was just laying for the most part. I wasn't walking Little Bear. The little bit of physical activities y'all saw was when I was doing just stupid little workout. And they're not stupid, but they're very small, like not powerful workouts, to help out Guru my Bush Kitty. But other than that, I wasn't doing shit but laying on my ass and trying to work on the project and watching YouTube, making YouTube videos, watching Netflix. I was resting. I was letting my hip and back heal. So, and as soon as I started to feel a little bit better and being able to walk and shit, that's when I was like, all right, I can probably fucking do this, adventure thing again. And before even really like knowing if I was ready or not, but my body was telling me, it's like, okay, if I can walk around and rake leaves, I can fucking, I can make it on the streets, because I also felt like it was getting better. It was progressively healing. So I chose to make that jump and go to Arizona. But it was still, it's a huge change from just raking leaves to carrying 30 to 40 to 50 pounds of gear on your back every day, while you're used to being just laid up in your room. I had to do everything on my own as far as, gathering food, going to the store to get food, gathering water, all that shit. It took a toll, so I didn't have an abundance of energy, and I also didn't feel good about myself. I came from a place where I felt very good about things. I had a good flow with the project. I was working on it. The conversations with Joy seemed to be more friendly. Good shit was happening, man. I felt good about stuff. I was starting to heal, this and that. Yeah, some weird shit happened with my family, my brother, but ultimately I was feeling in high spirits about things. And then going to AZ just kind of like brought me back down to a different level, just more of a rock bottom level, just the area itself. Like Oregon, even though it rains a lot, there's still a lot of life. There's still a lot of plant life. There's a lot of birds. There's a lot of water. You know, Arizona has really none of these things but sand and rocks, especially Phoenix, Arizona. I mean, northern Arizona is a little different, but Phoenix, Arizona is fucking dry. It's a desert. It's a fucking very, very arid, dry, and hot desert. So, you know, it fucking kind of burned me out. Not kind of, it did. And I've dealt with some of the most excruciating back pains I've ever had in my life while carrying around all that weight. So I'm bringing this up because, so again, let's go back. We had the good stream, like the day before I left for Arizona with Joy. It was like a 6-hour stream, which, by the way, you're spending 6 hours talking to a dude, like, especially if the conversation is friendly and in like a good perpetuate, like she was giving me ideas on how to work on the project and shit. Now again, I'm not saying that it's a romantic interest, I'm just saying it was a friendly, more of a friendly vibe, you know. So that happens. I go to Arizona, you know, and I continue to try to upload video, and I even told her before I went to Arizona that it's not going to be the same as it was at the house, where I could just, like, I was, you know, able to jump into YouTube streams and, you know, see what the fuck is going on with everybody relatively easy. I told her it wasn't going to be like that, and it wasn't going to be. It wasn't like that. I could have done more, yes. I could have done more. I could have. But I let, you know, like I said, my insecurities, my, you know, lack of self-worth, and just, you know, kind of my pity party get in the way of shit. It is what it is, man. You know, it happened. But because this is my perspective, these are the reasons why I think that you know, this goes into why I think she jumps from dick to dick, or she did, and I also understand it. I get it. You know, I'm not trying to, the way I said it was very derogatory, but I get it. She's a female. Like, females are different than males, in my opinion. This could come out sounding sexist, but I mean, I don't know. I can't even say that. I'm just different, because a lot of dudes spend a lot of their time just trying to find females too. So it's not just a female thing. I was going to say that most females just really seem to focus about wanting to find a man and have a family and take care of kids and relatively simple shit, you know, whereas males, you know, tend to be more, you know, goal orientated. But I don't want to say that, because that's not true. There's plenty of females that are goal orientated, and there's plenty of dudes that just want pussy and a family. So it's really not that black and white. You know, that sexism shit, just another thing I think they use to divide us. All I know is, for me in my life, like, I've always had a desire for some type of higher calling, you know, some type of something that's going to change shit in a big way. I've just always felt that inside my being. I've always felt like being a soldier, but I've never felt right in fighting for the causes that I see are available to fight for, you know, or at least readily available to fight for. So, you know, I got lost in my own self-destruction, because when you have that desire to serve and fight for something, and yet you have nothing to serve or fight for, you're left empty kind of feeling. You're left as a soldier without a cause, you know, and it's like, well, what the fuck do, you know? And doing drugs and all these things, it stimulates your adrenaline, it gets your opiate, you know, your fucking endorphins going, your opiate glands, I mean, your opiate receptors, I should say. So it brings about a lot of feeling, and it just in love too. Like, because a real good soldier is going to love what he's fighting for. He's going to want to die for it. And in order to do that, you got to really love that shit. So there's a lot of reasons why, you know, I think soldiers have a propensity to be very self-destructive. You know, and if you look at a lot of the Navy SEALs, not all of them, but a lot of them suffer from severe addiction problems, because they're so intense. It's like they go on these extravagant adventures full of all these type of fucking challenges that they have fucking no idea of. They do their best to train for it, but you can't really train for warfare. You have no idea what the fuck's gonna happen to you one second to the next. And then they come back to civilian life, and it's like, wow, that's a huge difference. Like, I go from waking up not knowing if I'm gonna be killed in my sleep, having to get up and just fucking hoof it all day and fucking do all this guerrilla warfare fucking tactics, to, you know, trying to find a 9-to-5 job that's, you know, in the area of my credentials. You know, I mean, it's like, it's hard to fucking supplement that feeling you get from fighting in a battle to just a normal everyday life. And I think a lot of it also has to do with, I think a lot of these, especially the fucking, you know, the special forces guys, get access to information that leads them to question what they're really fighting for, because they're not stupid. These people are very intelligent. In order to go through special forces and deal with all that shit, you got to have a pretty high caliber of being. And so they see things, you know, they see a lot of things, and they experience a lot of things, and they feel a lot of things, and they come back not feeling good about what they're fighting for. Well, not all of them, I'm just saying I think some of them. And I know my dad was, you know, his military career, he, you know, went through the Rangers, West Point, Airborne Ranger, all that shit. Never saw combat, but as soon as he got into the officers club, that's what made him leave the military, because he saw all these officers and shit, and he's like, they're sitting around talking like they're better than everybody else, and it was not what he wanted to fight for. So, you know, I do have a little bit of firsthand experience in regards to how things go when it gets into the officers, and my dad's got military friends too that will share similar. There's a lot of politics involved. There's a lot of bullshit. It's not pure. It's not really for the good of all of humanity. And that's the thing too, is they put it off like it's this. This is where they get people fucked up, because they know humanity's got goodness in them and love in them, so they use that desire for love and honor and to do something that's good and purposeful, and they, you know, they suck people in with that, and then they use them to do their dirty work. So it's like, and then talking bad about them is dangerous, because they do fight. They tell us they fight for our security, and yes, at a time we did have to fight against tyrannical forces to fucking get away from that leash that we had around our necks. So like in times of that, it's very good, and I think there's going to be another time like that very soon. But you know, this is why once the tyrannical forces lost that battle, they had to use a different tactic, and their different tactic is a slow, steady infiltration of our infrastructure and turning it from a one that's good, that's for the harmony and goodness of everybody, into one that's not, the opposite of that. And this is where it gets deeper into spirituality and wickedness and working for the devil and evilness and people that are hell-bent on selfish means and fucking wicked ways. And that's what has been slowly but surely seeping its way into our society, and now we're seeing more and more of it than ever. And it all comes, I mean, everything has a reason. This is why, like, these corporations that exploit from the earth, it's all got a taint to it. It's all got a vibration to it. It's all got an effect to every single one of these products that are out there that we consume, that we sell, that we continue to perpetuate, as do the businesses that offer them. But anyway, I'm getting off a topic. I brought this up to let you guys know that, so this is why. So we had this great talk fucking right before I left AZ. And then she continued to want to talk. You know, there was other streams where she was like getting mad at me because I'm not talking. And then right before I left to Florida, right before she went to go out on her Irish pub date, I jumped in her chat, and the way she reacted was like, where the fuck have you been? You show up now? Like, I'm about to go out, you show up now? And then she still wanted me to jump in, but she'd already told me to leave, and I only had like 15 minutes till the next Greyhound bus, so it wasn't a good time to do a stream. But little things like that tell somebody that there is an interest, and those type of things especially suggest that it's more of a romantic interest. But I'm not saying that for sure, because I don't know what the fuck's going through her head. Just, this is my observation. But because I wasn't there and I didn't give her the same attention that I had been giving when I was in Oregon, she got hungry. And so she fucking, that's why I think she started going to the pub, to the bars, and then I think that's also why she reached out to Blow to Kiki, and they two started talking. So from my perspective, it does seem like, because I didn't do any of that, I didn't even though I was lonely and hurting at times and shit like that, I didn't go around seeking other females or anything like that, and that's just not my style either. But anyway, this is why I said the thing about her going from dick to dick. It seemed like, we were talking and there's some good fucking vibes going between us, and I didn't perpetuate it the best way, so I get it. She got hungry for some attention and some conversation and some communication, so she sought it elsewhere. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad thing. The way I said it was derogatory, so I'm sorry. That's not the nicest thing to say. And I do think that once she finds the dick that she wants to be with, that she's the type of person to stick with that dick and not be a cheater. That's what I observe. But yeah, I don't really like, playing all these games, like going back and forth and trying to explain all this shit in the past. Like, she can think what she wants. She's not interested, that's fine. I want her to do her, just as I want everybody else to be themselves and do what the fuck they really are interested in. Not to fucking lie, not to beat around the bush, not to sugarcoat shit. So I'm glad that she's expressing herself and letting me know how she feels. Part of me still thinks there's some lack of forthcomingness in her part, but you know, that's for me to share and for her to fucking hear if she does hear it. Yeah, what else? I know there's a few other things she talked about, but I don't know, I think that's good for now. All right, I love y'all. Y'all take care. Bye.